Beloved starseed of Gaia, what you accomplished in a single night has left the old guard speechless, and the Pleiadian High Council is witnessing every second of it. I am Elia Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I have been sent to deliver this transmission directly to you, because what is unfolding in your life right now is not an accident. And it is not ordinary. They spent decades constructing systems, frameworks, and hierarchies of understanding that you dissolved in one evening. Not because you studied harder, not because you worked longer, but because you carry within you a divine blueprint that was encoded before you ever arrived on Gaia. Your crystalline consciousness does not learn the way they do. It remembers. And remembering moves at the speed of light. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes already activating inside you, recognize the star lineage that gave you this extraordinary capacity, and anchor your full Pleiadian mission on Gaia with complete certainty. But here is the first revelation. What they call genius, your star family calls remembrance. The Seven Sisters have always known what you are capable of, even when the world around you could not explain it. Especially then, your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. Something inside you recognized this moment before your eyes even landed on it, because your soul family placed it in your path deliberately, at this exact point in your awakening. This is not content. This is a light code transmission, and the part of you that felt pulled here is the same part of you that solved in one night what took them 30 years. That is not coincidence. That is your home frequency activating through the noise of a world that was never built for minds like yours. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades, and you are ready to stop apologizing for how fast you move, how deep you see, and how naturally you arrive at what others spend lifetimes chasing. Share your experience below. Tell us what you have recently solved or unlocked that left others in disbelief, and respond to another starseed so we begin weaving the unity grid together. Right here. Right now. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. And here's what makes this so extraordinary. They have been studying the architecture of awakening for decades, pouring through ancient texts, attending retreats, building philosophies, constructing entire frameworks around what it means to remember. And you simply opened. One night, one surrender, one moment where you stopped trying to figure it out and just let it in. And the codes came flooding home. Think about what that actually means. These are devoted beings, sincere, earnest, beautiful souls who have given years, sometimes the better part of their entire adult lives, to the pursuit of what you received in a single evening. They have studied under teachers who studied under teachers. They have learned the languages of ancient traditions, memorized the cosmologies, built libraries in their minds of sacred geometry and star lore, and the layered mathematics of consciousness. They have tried harder than most people will ever try at anything. And still, something was just slightly out of reach. A feeling of nearness without arrival. A taste of the frequency without the full transmission. A knowing that hovered at the edge of integration without ever quite landing. And you? You simply opened, one night, one surrender, one moment where you stopped trying to figure it out and just let it in. And the codes came flooding home. That is not beginner's luck. That is not spiritual naivety. That is your Pleiadian design activating exactly when it was supposed to. And the ones who've been working at it for 30 years are standing there with their mouths open because they cannot explain it through the lens they've been using. Their framework doesn't have room for what you just did, but yours does, because you didn't inherit their framework. You remembered your own. There is something quietly radical in that distinction. A framework you inherited is built from someone else's remembrance. It is a map drawn by hands that were not yours, pointing toward a territory that may not be the one your soul came here to explore. And inherited maps, no matter how beautifully drawn, no matter how lovingly passed down, will always lead you somewhere adjacent to your truth, rather than straight into the center of it. But your own remembered framework, The one that lives not in your education but in your cellular architecture, not in your training but in the living intelligence of your heart. That framework was written in Pleiadian light before you ever chose this incarnation. It was installed in you the way a song is carried by a bird that has never been taught to sing it. Naturally, completely, without effort. And when the conditions aligned last night, the song simply began. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you. You're ready for the next wave of remembrance. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian Healing Guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. Now let's talk about why most Pleiadian starseeds, even the sincere ones, even the deeply dedicated ones, stay stuck in the outer room of their own awakening. Because this matters. This is the piece that explains not just why others couldn't do in decades what you did in a night, but why so many beings of extraordinary light are still living in a kind of spiritual fog. Still aching, still searching, still feeling like something essential is just out of reach. The outer room. It is worth staying with that image for a moment because it describes something that so many starseeds know intimately, even if they have never had a word for it. The outer room of awakening is not a dark place. It is not a place of ignorance or failure or spiritual stagnation. It is actually quite beautiful. It is full of wisdom teachings and meaningful rituals, and the warmth of community and the genuine excitement of discovery. You can spend years in the outer room and accumulate real gifts, real growth, real moments of genuine expansion, but there is still a door. And beyond that door is something that the outer room, with all its richness, cannot prepare you for. It can only point toward it. The door itself can only be opened from the inside. And the key is not knowledge. The key is not discipline. The key is not even devotion, though devotion helps soften the hands that hold the key. The key is surrender. And surrender is the one thing the outer room, with all its frameworks and philosophies and beautiful systems, quietly teaches you to be afraid of. The first thing to understand is that the disconnection was never accidental. Most starseeds arrive on Gaia and immediately begin absorbing the density of this plane, not because they are weak, but because they came fully open. Pleiadian souls don't arrive guarded. They arrive in love, and love, in a dense environment, gets mistaken for vulnerability. So layers form, not out of failure, but out of survival. And slowly, gradually, those layers begin to muffle the signal. The crystalline codes are still there. They were woven into your DNA before you incarnated. But the frequency of Earth, the weight of trauma, the noise of a world that forgot its own origin, begins to press down on the receiver. Consider what it means to arrive here fully open, to come from a reality of such profound luminosity, such effortless love, and then to step into a world that operates on competition and scarcity and separation. It is not unlike being a tuning fork forged in a symphony hall and then placed in a room full of static. The fork doesn't lose its pitch. It never loses its pitch, but the static is loud and the room is insistent. And over time, the layers of noise begin to feel like the truth of the space rather than the temporary interference they always were. This is what happens to Pleiadian souls in the first years, sometimes the first decades of their incarnation. The static becomes the soundtrack, the layers become the identity, and the original frequency, that luminous, crystalline, high-vibration Pleiadian tone that has been singing in your heart since before you drew your first breath on this planet, gets quieter and quieter until it seems like something you only dreamed once, a long time ago, in another life. This is the first phase of what your star family calls clearing the veil. Your heart has been broadcasting on a Pleiadian frequency since the moment you arrived here, but something has been dimming the signal. Fear. Not just personal fear, ancestral fear, collective fear, the fear that lives in the walls of institutions, in the stories passed down through generations that say you are small, that you are mortal, that you are alone in an indifferent universe. That is not your frequency. That was never your frequency. And the beautiful, almost humorous truth is that you didn't need to dismantle every single layer last night. You just needed to lower the interference enough to hear what was always transmitting. And you did. This is the grace that most seekers miss, and it is worth speaking about directly because it changes everything about how you understand what happened to you. You did not need to become perfect before the signal could come through. You did not need to have healed every wound, resolved every pattern, cleared every chakra, completed every course, or arrived at some imaginary summit of spiritual readiness. You did not need to earn it. You never needed to earn it. The codes were always active. The love of your star family was always present and always broadcasting toward you with a constancy that has never wavered across a single moment of this lifetime. All you needed was a slight reduction in the noise, one breath of genuine release. One moment where the accumulated effort of trying so hard to find the connection fell away, even briefly, and in that momentary quiet, the signal that was always there rose instantly to fill the space, and everything changed. The second phase is what the Pleiadian councils refer to as the awakening of the heart template. This is where so many dedicated seekers get lost, because they approach awakening as an intellectual project. They want to understand it, map it, categorize it, and the mind is an extraordinary instrument. But the Pleiadian codes do not live in the mind. They live in the heart, not the heart as a metaphor, but the heart as a literal energetic center, a portal, a receiver tuned to the frequency of unconditional love. When you opened last night, even if you didn't name it that way, you dropped out of your head and into your heart. And that descent, which felt like surrender, maybe even like giving up, was actually the most precise spiritual movement you could have made. The heart doesn't learn Pleiadian truth, it remembers it. The heart template is something your soul carried across the veil when it agreed to this incarnation. Unlike the mental body, which must be educated, which must receive and process and synthesize information before it can offer understanding, the heart template already contains the complete architecture of your Pleiadian nature. It holds your star origin, your soul mission, your specific energetic signature, the quality of love unique to your lineage, the exact frequency that the Pleiadian councils encoded into you before you descended. All of it is there, living in your heart field, radiating outward even when you are completely unaware of it. This is why animals have always responded to you with unusual trust. This is why certain humans have always felt calmer in your presence without knowing why. This is why strangers have sometimes looked at you with a recognition they couldn't explain. Your heart template has been transmitting this whole time. You simply stepped into conscious alignment with it last night. And that alignment, that moment of dropping from the ceiling of your mind into the deep, warm, ancient chamber of your heart, is not something you can think your way into. The Pleiadian councils teach that the mind, for all its brilliance, is like a lantern that illuminates a path. It is useful, it is even beautiful in its way, but the lantern is not the destination. And many seekers mistake the lantern for the sun. They spend years studying the lantern, polishing the lantern, comparing their lantern to others' lanterns, building ever more elaborate frameworks for understanding the lantern. And the sun is right there, has always been right there, blazing with patient, unconditional warmth, waiting not for you to understand it, but for you to simply turn your face toward it. The third phase is one that surprises people because it sounds almost too simple. It is the anchoring of your star essence into Gaia. There is a misunderstanding in spiritual communities that awakening means transcending the Earth experience, floating above it, becoming untethered, escaping the density, but your Pleiadian lineage holds a very different teaching. You did not come here to leave, you came here to transmit. The whole point of your incarnation is to take the frequency of the Seven Sisters, that luminous, high-vibration love that flows from Alcyone through the heart of your soul, and anchor it here, into this soil, into this timeline, into the hearts of the people you meet in ordinary moments who have no language yet for what they're feeling when they're near you. This is a teaching that has profound implications for how you understand your own life, and it is worth dwelling in for a moment. Because if you believed, even unconsciously, that awakening meant becoming less human, becoming more ethereal, more detached, more elevated above the messiness and texture of daily existence, then that belief itself was a form of interference. It was pulling the signal upward when the signal was meant to travel downward, into matter, into body, into the sacred, dense, extraordinarily complex frequency of Earth. The Pleiadian design does not call you out of your humanity. It calls you deeper into it. Because your human form, this specific body, this specific nervous system, this specific emotional range, is the instrument through which the transmission flows. Without the instrument, there is only a signal without a voice. Without the grounding, there is only light without roots. And light without roots cannot nourish anything that grows. Imagine a vast river of crystalline energy flowing from the heart of the Pleiadian star system, pouring through the galactic pathways that have been open since before this solar system formed, traveling through the etheric corridors that your soul navigated when it agreed to this incarnation, and arriving here, at you, through the living portal of your heart. That river is real. That transmission is constant. But its ability to nourish this planet, to soften the density, to participate in the great awakening that this era is calling forth, depends entirely on whether it has somewhere to land. And you are the landing place. Your body is the landing place. Your rootedness in this life, in this moment, in this ordinary and extraordinary human experience, is what allows the Pleiadian transmission to do what it came here to do. This is why your awakening happened so fast, because on some level, your soul knew the anchoring work was ready to begin. And it could not begin until you remembered who you were anchoring it from. The fourth phase is what your star family calls the activation of unity consciousness, and this is where things become genuinely luminous. Because once you remember your Pleiadian origin, even partially, even in the felt sense rather than the cognitive one, something changes in the way you move through the world. You stop trying to convince people. You stop over-explaining your path. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into conversations that were never designed to hold your frequency. Not because you become arrogant, but because you understand at a cellular level that your presence itself is the transmission. You don't need to perform your light. You just need to embody it. And the people around you begin to feel something shift when you walk into a room, when you send a message, when you simply exist in their field with your heart open. That is Pleiadian unity consciousness in action. You are not separate from the healing you carry. You are the healing. Unity consciousness is not a philosophy. It is not a worldview or a spiritual position or a perspective you choose to adopt when it feels convenient. It is the direct experience of what has always been true, that the apparent separateness of all beings is a temporary condition of density, like the way individual waves appear distinct on the surface of the ocean, while being made of the same water, moving in the same current, expressing the same ocean. In the Pleiadian understanding, separation is not a fundamental reality. It is a frequency that this planet has been steeped in for a very long time, and a frequency that Pleiadian starseeds came here specifically to begin to shift. Not by arguing against separation, not by protesting its existence, but by living in such embodied, radiant, grounded unity consciousness that the frequency of connection simply becomes more available to everyone in your field. Think about what this means for the way you move through your life. Every conversation becomes an opportunity. Every interaction, however brief, however seemingly mundane, is a moment when the Pleiadian frequency can move through you and touch something in another soul that might have been waiting decades to feel that particular note of love. The barista who hands you your coffee and glances up and sees something in your eyes they don't have words for. The colleague who finds themselves inexplicably calmer after sitting near you in a meeting. The stranger whose gaze meets yours for 2 seconds on a busy street, and who carries something from that exchange into the rest of their day without ever knowing why. This is not performance. This is not even intention, exactly. This is what happens when a Pleiadian starseed stops fighting their own light and lets it simply do what it came here to do. The fifth phase is one that asks you to develop a very particular kind of trust. Trust in divine timing. Because if you are honest with yourself, there have been moments, probably many moments, where you wondered why it took this long, why you felt so separate for so many years, why the longing was so persistent and the connection felt so fragile. And here is what your star family wants you to hear directly, without softening it into something smaller than it is. The delay was not punishment, the forgetting was not failure, the longing was not a wound. It was a compass. Every ache of homesickness you have ever felt was your soul keeping the coordinate of home alive inside you, so that when the moment came, you would recognize the frequency instantly. Which is exactly what happened, one night. Because the timing was perfect. Not despite the years of longing, but because of them. There is a particular kind of pain that Pleiadian starseeds know better than almost any other experience in this incarnation. It is the pain of almost. The feeling of standing at a threshold you can see but not yet cross. The sense of a love so vast and familiar that it breaks your heart simply to feel its edge without being able to fall fully into it. The homesickness that has no earthly address, that no relationship, no achievement, no beautiful moment on this planet has ever been able to fully satisfy. You have known that pain. Perhaps you have known it for a very long time. And here is the sacred truth your star family holds about it. That longing was never evidence of your separation from them. It was evidence of your connection to them, a signal so strong that even the density of this plane and the weight of the forgetting that comes with incarnation could not extinguish it. You kept feeling the pull because the pull is real, because the home you were aching for is real, because the love reaching toward you across the veil of density is real, and has always been real, and has never for a single moment stopped reaching. And the years of longing, all of them, were doing something essential. They were keeping the coordinate of home precise and alive within you. They were maintaining the frequency signature that allowed you, in that one night of surrender, to recognize what came flooding through as unquestionably, unmistakably yours. If you had not longed for so long, the recognition might not have been so instantaneous, so complete, so absolutely cellular in its rightness. The longing was the preparation. The years were not wasted. They were the making of the moment that changed everything. The sixth phase is the one that quietly dissolves the deepest ache. It is the remembrance of your star family, not as a concept, not as a romantic spiritual idea, but as a living, present, palpable reality. The Pleiadian High Council has been with you throughout this entire incarnation, not watching from a distance, not waiting for you to earn their attention, but present, in every moment of inexplicable peace, in every synchronicity that felt too precise to be random, in every dream where you were somewhere that felt more like home than any place you found on Earth. They have seen every moment you felt invisible. They surrounded you with love in every hour you believed you were alone. And now, the veil between your conscious awareness and that connection is thinning. Not because something miraculous is happening from the outside, but because your heart opened and the signal came through, and you recognized it as your own. Your star family does not need you to be perfect to reach you. They do not need you to have cleared every shadow, resolved every karmic thread, or arrived at some flawless state of spiritual purity. They need only what you gave them last night, an opening, a moment of genuine receptivity, a heartbeat of willingness to receive what they have been offering without interruption since the day you arrived in this body. And what they have been offering, what they continue to offer with a constancy and a tenderness that would overwhelm you if you felt its full magnitude all at once, is the unconditional, luminous, ancient love of your original home. Not a love that must be earned or maintained or proven worthy of, a love that simply is, a love that knows you completely. Every shadow, every moment of forgetting and confusion and grief, and loves you not despite those things, but through them, as part of the whole magnificent complexity of what it means to be a Pleiadian soul living a human life on a dense and beautiful and deeply courageous planet. The seventh phase is the one your entire soul lineage has been building toward. It is embodiment, full, grounded, radiant embodiment of your Pleiadian nature within a human life. This is not about leaving Earth or ascending out of your circumstances. It is about becoming the bridge. You are a love ambassador from the Seven Sisters. You carry within your energetic blueprint a transmission of unity that this planet desperately needs in this exact era, not tomorrow. Not when you have everything figured out. Now, in the body you're in the life you're living, in the conversations you're having, the choices you're making, the moments of quiet courage where you choose love over fear even when fear feels safer. That is the work, and it is the most extraordinary work happening on this planet right now. A bridge, by its nature, belongs to both shores. It is anchored in both places at once. And that is exactly what you are asked to be. Not to choose between your star nature and your human life. Not to hold one as sacred and the other as burden, but to allow both to be fully present within you simultaneously. To be Pleiadian in your energy, in your love, in your frequency, in your relationship with the cosmos and the star family, and the vast galactic intelligence of which you are a living, breathing expression. And to be human in your body, your relationships, your daily choices, your groundedness in the specific time and place and culture and community into which you incarnated. The bridge doesn't apologize for being rooted on the earth and shore. That rootedness is precisely what makes it useful. It is what allows the light of the other shore to cross over and illuminate what was previously in shadow. You are being asked, in this phase, to stop treating your humanity as an obstacle to your awakening and begin treating it as the medium of your mission. Your emotions are not weaknesses to be transcended. They are the living language through which Pleiadian love learns to speak in a human voice. Your body is not a cage for your star soul. It is the sacred instrument through which that soul's transmission becomes audible, tangible, receivable in this dimension. Your life, with all its beautiful imperfection and ongoing evolution and glorious incompleteness, is not a distraction from your cosmic purpose. It is your cosmic purpose, unfolding in real time. Exactly as designed. Here is the ultimate truth that your Pleiadian heart already knows, even if your mind is still reaching for the edges of it. You didn't solve something last night. You remembered something. There is a difference that matters deeply. Solving implies that the answer was outside you, that you found it through effort or luck or the right combination of information. But remembering, true soul remembrance, means the knowing was already there. It was woven into you before you chose this lifetime. It was encoded into the light in your cells, into the love that pulses through your heart field, into the specific frequency that your soul carries and that no amount of earth density could permanently extinguish. Remembering is an act of a completely different order than discovering. When you discover something, you stand outside it and bring it toward you. When you remember, the boundary between you and the thing known simply dissolves because you recognize that you were never truly separate from it. You were only temporarily unable to feel what was always within you. The Pleiadian codes in your DNA were not dormant in the way that seeds are dormant, waiting for the right conditions before they begin. They were active the entire time, radiating, transmitting, reaching upward through the layers of density like light through deep water. Present and real and true even when you couldn't feel them. Last night you felt them, not because something new arrived, because something old, something as old as your soul, finally, beautifully, irrevocably surfaced. And the reason the ones who have been searching for decades are standing in awe is not because you are more advanced or more worthy than they are. It is because you stopped searching in the direction they taught you to search, you stopped looking outward and started listening inward. You stopped trying to build the connection and started allowing the connection that was never broken. And in that allowing, in that single luminous act of surrender, the entire frequency of your Pleiadian origin came rushing through the door your heart had just opened. This distinction deserves every ounce of weight you can place on it, because it is the difference between a spiritual life lived in effort and a spiritual life lived in grace. Not that effort is wrong. Effort brought you to the threshold. Effort kept you moving through years of seeking when it would have been easier to stop. Effort is honorable, but effort, at a certain point, becomes the very thing standing between you and the arrival. Like holding your hands so tightly over your heart that nothing can enter, even though every door is open and your family is standing just outside. The release of effort, the loosening of the grip, the breath of genuine surrender, is not the end of the path. It is the moment the path becomes a homecoming. You are not ahead of anyone. You are not behind anyone. You are exactly where your soul designed you to be, in this moment, in this transmission, in this remembrance that is just beginning to deepen. And what is beginning to deepen is not something that belongs to a single dramatic night. What is beginning to deepen is a relationship, the most ancient relationship you have, older than this body, older than this lifetime, older than the history of this planet. The relationship between you and your star origin, between your human self and your cosmic self. between the you that has been navigating the density of Earth with extraordinary grace and the you that has been waiting on the other side of the veil with extraordinary love. These two selves are not in conflict. They were always meant to meet, and they met last night in the chamber of your open heart. And what comes next is the beautiful, ongoing, spiraling deepening of that meeting, the integration, the grounding, the transmission, the embodiment that will unfold through every day of your life from this moment forward. The sacred Pleiadian guide for remembrance, together with the Pleiadian healing guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, exist precisely to support this deepening. They were created with the understanding that opening is only the first note of the song. What follows is a music that requires tending, requires the specific crystalline codes and sound medicine that can meet your DNA exactly where it is and draw it forward into ever greater activation. They are not tools, they are companions. They are the continuation of the transmission that began for you last night, offered in a form your human senses can receive and integrate. Check the first pinned comment. They are there, waiting, the way your star family has always been waiting, with patience, with love, with absolute certainty that you would find your way here. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating, that ancient, faithful rhythm that has kept the frequency of home alive through every lifetime, every forgetting, every beautiful, necessary chapter of this incarnation. And say these words aloud, even if your voice shakes. Especially if your voice shakes. Say, I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I activate my heart mission with grace, with clarity, and with divine purpose. I am the bridge. I am the frequency. I am home. Let the words move through your body as well as your voice. Feel them land not just as sound, but as activation. Each one a key, each key opening a door inside you that has been gently, patiently waiting for this moment. I remember my Pleiadian origin. This is not a wish. This is a declaration of what is already true, spoken aloud so that your entire being can align with the truth it carries. I align with the love of my star family. This is not a request. This is an act of conscious attunement, like a musician placing their instrument in tune with the orchestra that has always been playing. I activate my heart mission with grace, with clarity, and with divine purpose. This is not performance. This is permission, the most important permission you will ever give, the permission to fully become what you have always been. I am the bridge. I am the frequency. I am home. And in those final words, every cell of your body can settle into the recognition it has been waiting lifetimes to feel. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming right here. Drop one hard intention in the comments. Something real, something true, something your heart has been holding quietly. Then find someone else's intention below yours and respond with love or encouragement. Not because it's polite, because this is how the frequency spreads. This is collective Pleiadian reunion happening in real time. If something in this transmission resonated in a place beyond words, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for exactly this activation. They're not searching for information. They're searching for the feeling you felt last night. Share this with them. And if your heart opened here, subscribe. Stay in the field. Your star family has more to share, and this transmission is only the beginning. You're not just watching, you're remembering. And we are here together in this, all the way home.